Today's video is about complex needs. So if your child has been diagnosed with something or has an illness or a sensory impairment, that would fall into the definition of a child with complex needs, which then therefore requires additional support on a regular basis. I happen to be a specialist of working with and parenting children with complex needs. I've been doing that since 2006. I'm about to read off some notes for you. Recently I had some feedback that I do better in my videos when I read off pieces of paper than just a wing it. Thank you so much to my partner Heather for that wonderful feedback. As a parent of a child with complex needs, you become exhausted, stressed out, anxious, frustrated, sad, angry, embarrassed. You feel helpless, you feel hopeless, and you just feel emotionally overwhelmed because your child who has complex needs is more. They are more intense with emotions, more challenging, more sensitive, and more distracted and more uncomfortable with change. So they may not fall into all those 5 categories. There might be bits and pieces of those categories, which indicates that your child is more. More intense with emotions would mean they seem to always be asking you questions. They shut down easily. They are aggressive and they seem to be prone to anxiety and depression. Their moods can shift quickly and intensely. One minute they can be yelling with joy and the next minute they're having a full, complete emotional meltdown. So they basically just seem like they're on an emotional roller coaster. They're more intense with emotions. They can be more challenging. It feels like they always want to do the opposite of what I want them to do. Every task, request, or responsibility feels like a major problem in an undertaking as a parent. They prefer to say no than yes. More sensitive. Their senses can be sensitive to noises, smells, lights, and certain environments. They can seem more sensitive to criticism, and they perceive things as criticism or rejection. They can be overwhelmed by school, family gatherings, community outings, or anything out of their control. These children can be more distracted. They have lots of energy, too much energy. They can't sit still. They get distracted when you want them to get dressed or eat lunch or do their chores or any request you ask of them. They become distracted. They struggle at school and at home with schoolwork because of the ability of being more distracted. They are more uncomfortable with change. They lack the skills to be adaptable and flexible in situations. They're concrete thinkers. It's hard for them to adapt to new things, new situations, or new people. Any change is uncomfortable for them and they have a hard time with it. They lack flexibility and distress tolerance. They want what they want and it's difficult to negotiate with them. So those are 5 examples of a child with complex needs. There being more, right? So as a parent, we need to recognize this and recognize this is how our child or children's brains work. This is what they're doing. And we need to focus on what we can control. So for all those years I described working with children with complex needs, I found lots of success. These children made lots of positive changes. They turned their lives around. In different settings, they responded differently to me than they did to other workers. What was the key to all this? Was me recognizing the fact that their complex needs that they had, whatever that is, could be ADHD, ODD, anxiety, you name it, all these different labels and titles. It required more of me. I'm going to do a part 2 video of this where I explain that your child has complex needs, therefore they're more, all the things I listed. I'm going to talk about how it requires more of us as a parent. And the last thing I want to tell you is it's okay to not be okay. It is hard to parent a child with complex needs. I get it. I really, really do. I have been there. Take care, be safe, be well.